Hello, good morning. This is Breakfast with Charlie Stayt and Louise Minchin, and we are live from Westminster.
Our Prime Minister under pressure. Just a day after clinging to power, Theresa May faces a backlash from fellow Tories.
The Conservative leader is forming a minority government with the support of the Democratic Unionist Party, but there are questions from some of her own MPs over how long she can remain in the job.
A deal with the DUP is also under scrutiny. The leader of the Scottish Conservatives, Ruth Davidson, says she's raised concerns with the Prime Minister about the Unionist opposition to gay rights.
Labour has ended its election campaign on a high. Jeremy Corbyn's party took Kensington from the Conservatives for the first time in history.
This morning we'll be live at Downing Street with the very latest, and we'll be hearing how people across the UK have been reacting to Friday's result.
Yes, we brought the butty van to the Kenilworth Agricultural Show here in Warwickshire. We've positively emptied out the breakfast toy box this morning, even the sofas here. We'll talk to business people, we'll talk to farmers, we'll talk to locals to find out what they think has just happened and what happens next.
Good morning. It's Saturday, the 10th of June. As you can see, we're on College Green in Westminster throughout the programme this morning. A special programme as we look at what happens next after the 2017 general election resulted in a hung parliament. Also on the programme this morning, police revealed that the London Bridge attackers had tried to get hold of a 7-ton lorry and that petrol bombs were found in the van they did eventually hire. Detectives are now appealing for information about the knives used in the attack.
Good morning in the sport. A proud moment for England's Harry Kane. The striker will captain his country in tonight's World Cup qualifier against Scotland in Glasgow, while the Scots striker Lee Griffiths has been past fit to play.
And Philip has the weather for us.
Hello, good morning. It's an OK start to the day in Sussex, but I'm afraid it's not like that everywhere. I have all the detail on the weekend's weather in just a few minutes.
Philip, thank you.
Very good morning. This is Breakfast. We're live from College Green in Westminster this morning. Our top story, of course, is that the Prime Minister is facing pressure from within her own party as she moves to form a government with the help of the Democratic Unionists.
Theresa May's failure to secure an outright majority has led to questions from some Conservatives over whether she should remain in charge and about what a deal with the DUP could involve. Our political correspondent
represent as well.
Absolutely. It's been a lovely day here in Westminster, and you really get a sense, don't you, of the history of the place here. Things have changed, haven't they, in the last 48 hours, and what we want to leave you with, really, is a look back at some of the images that have sort of made the election campaign. Breakfast will continue to be on tomorrow morning from 6. Goodbye from us.
Bye-bye.
And what we're saying is the Conservatives are the largest party. Note, they don't have an overall majority at this stage.
Unless the exit poll is incredibly wrong, the Prime Minister has failed to achieve her principal objective.
No pact, no deal, no coalition.
The worst possible outcome would be a hung parliament.
I had no speech for this outcome. What a shock.
You live by the sword and you die by the sword.
I am standing down today as the leader of UKIP with immediate effect.
Incredible result for the Labour Party because people voted for hope. Young people and old people all came together.
We want the best deal for Northern Ireland, and that's certainly what we'll be pushing for.
Northern Ireland is the only part of the UK where you cannot have same-sex marriage, and it's an issue that is very close to my heart and one that I wanted categoric assurance from the Prime Minister from, and I received.
And I will now form a government that can provide certainty and lead Britain forward at this critical time for our country. Now let's get to work.
This is BBC News at 10 o'clock. I'm Jane Hill at Westminster, where Theresa May is under pressure to try to shape a new government after failing to win a majority in the general election. The Prime Minister is expected to finalise her team of ministers today and enlist the support of the Democratic Unionist Party. The Scottish Conservative leader is just one of several to express reservations about Theresa May doing a deal with the DUP.
By doing this, Theresa May has made herself a hostage to the DUP, which means that she cannot be the independent mediator between the two sides.
Labour took the Conservative seat of Kensington in West London. It was the final constituency declaration after 3 recounts. We will have all the latest reaction all day from here at Westminster, from Belfast and from Edinburgh, as questions remain about how long Theresa May can be Prime Minister.
I'm Shaun with today's other headlines. Police reveal the London Bridge terror attackers tried to hire a 7.5-ton lorry, but their credit cards were declined. Petrol bombs and blowtorches were found in the van they did use. Police also discovered the safe house where they prepared for the attack. Detectives want help in tracing 3 knives used by the attackers and pay tribute to members of the public who put up a fight.
People who came out armed with chairs, other items, were throwing bottles and anything they could get their hands on.
President Trump accuses sacked FBI Director James Comey of being a liar, saying he's 100% willing to speak under oath about their conversations. And Harry Kane will be the new England captain as they take on Scotland in the World Cup qualifier at Hampton Park.
Hello and a very good morning from Westminster, where we are still digesting the shock general election result. Theresa May is expected to finalise her team of ministers today. This is BBC News at 11 o'clock. I'm Jane Hill at Westminster, where pressure mounts on Theresa May to shape a new government after failing to win a majority in the general election. The Prime Minister is expected to finalise her team of ministers and is preparing to hold talks with the Democratic Unionist Party. The Scottish Conservative leader is one of a number who've expressed reservations about Mrs May doing a deal with the DUP.
By doing this, Theresa May has made herself a hostage to the DUP, which means that she cannot be the independent mediator between the two sides.
Labour took the Conservative seat of Kensington in West London, the final constituency to be declared after a 3rd recount. We'll have all the latest reaction from here at Westminster, from Belfast and Glasgow, as questions remain about how long Theresa May will be Prime Minister.
And I'm Shaun with today's other headlines. Police reveal the London Bridge terror attackers tried to hire a 7.5-ton lorry, but their credit cards were declined. Petrol bombs and blowtorches were found in the van they did use. Police also discovered the safe house where they prepared for the attack. Detectives want help in tracing 3 knives used by the attackers, and they've paid tribute to members of the public who put up a fight.
People who came out armed with chairs, other items, were throwing bottles and anything they could get their hands on.
And Harry Kane will be the new England captain as they take on Scotland in the World Cup qualifier at Hampden Park.
Hello and good morning again from Westminster, where following Thursday's shock election result, Theresa May is expected to finalise her team of ministers today as she tries to lead a government with the support of the DUP, the Democratic Unionist Party. Theresa May's failure to secure an outright majority has led to questions from a number of Conservatives about whether she should remain in charge and what a deal with the DUP might involve. The BBC understands there will be no formal talks between the two parties this weekend. Our first report this hour is from our political correspondent Emma Vardy on the fallout from the 2017 general election.
Hello. Thursday was supposed to be May's day in the British Prime Minister's plan to strengthen her hand by holding and winning a general election. Instead, she was left calling out May Day to a party in Northern Ireland, asking it to keep her Conservative Party in power after her parliamentary majority evaporated. As for Jeremy Corbyn, the previously beleaguered leader of the Labour Party, he lost the election but won plaudits for his campaign and inspired a new generation of young voters. With me to discuss where this leaves British politics and the imminent negotiations to get out of Europe are the biographer and long-standing contributor to Germany's Die Welt paper, Thomas Kielinger. From Ireland, the writer and broadcaster Brian O'Connell. Janet Leake of Politics. Dateline London will be back with more next week. From all of us on the programme, goodbye.
Hello once again. The weekend has started with quite a variety of weather on offer across the British Isles. For some, it's been a glorious start. We had a number of pictures like this from the Channel Islands.